Over its 13-year-long lifespan, repeatable questing content has changed a lot in World of Warcraft, and in this video we'll take a look at the evolution of daily quests. I hope you enjoy. Daily quests were first introduced in World of Warcraft's first expansion, the Burning Crusade. They were not added from the very beginning of the expansion, but were instead added in patch 2.1. This patch, named the Black Temple, added 3 brand new factions to the game: the Ogre-La, the Netherwing, and the Shatari Skyguard factions. These new factions had brand new daily quest hubs added for their respective areas. The daily quests were going to be repeatable content that the player could do in order to easily obtain reputation and golds. In patch 2.1, players were limited to 10 daily quests each day per character. This meant that you would not be able to do all the daily quests that were available, but instead you had to choose which faction you wanted to focus on the most. So for example, a lot of people wanted to obtain the Netherdrake mount as soon as possible, and therefore they would prioritize that faction. The Ogre-La and Netherwing factions sent the player on tough missions in order to unlock their daily quests. You would have to kill group monsters, obtain epic flying, as well as other difficult objectives. The daily quests would reset at 3 AM realm time every day. Daily quests were well received by the player base due to being a new approach to reputation farming. This was because previously you had to farm monsters for hours upon hours on end to obtain reputation with, well, most factions actually. Instead, daily quests offered you specific objectives that would have to be completed, as well as a nice sum of gold and reputation once the quest was finished. However, these quests were very repetitive. Every single day you would be offered the exact same quest, which offered little to no story at all. Now, Blizzard took this feedback to heart, and in patch 2.3 they added brand new dailies. This time around it was cooking daily quests, but with the goal of being less repetitive. The way they did this was by adding several different cooking quests, but only one would be available per day. This would also be used for daily heroic, daily battleground, and daily profession quests. In patch 2.4, a brand new faction as well as a brand new area was added to the game. This area was named the Isle of Quel'Danas, and it had 19 different daily quests. Because of this huge addition of new quests, Blizzard decided to increase the daily quest cap to 25 dailies per day. However, the problem with repetitiveness still persisted. There was no rotation with these new quests, and players had to do the same quests every single day in order to obtain reputation with the Shattered Sun offensive. In 2008, Blizzard released the second expansion set to World of Warcraft. This expansion was named Wrath of the Lich King, and it offered a lot of new daily quest content. However, there was still a lot of problems with repetitiveness with these daily quests. There was no rotation, and you would be offered the same quest every single day. Now, this would soon change, because in patch 3.2, Blizzard added the Argent Coliseum, which offered many new quests. This would ease up the problem with repetitiveness, because you had some quest givers which offered several quests on rotation, whilst you had other quest givers which offered the same quest every single day. In patch 3.3, the old daily quests for heroic dungeons and daily battlegrounds were replaced with the new group finder system. This was because you would be rewarded directly through the group finder feature, so you did not have to bring a quest with you like you had to before. Blizzard released Cataclysm, World of Warcraft's third expansion pack, in 2009, and in this expansion they offered more variation than previously when it comes to daily quests. In the Tolbarad Peninsula there was 6 available daily quests every single day out of a total pool of 22 quests. This would also be the case for the questing area added in patch 4.2, the Molten Front. In the Molten Front, there was 18 quests available every day out of a total of 55, and more quests could even be unlocked by advancing the reputation level. And this meant, for the very first time ever, you would never see the same combination of available daily quests every single day. In 2012, Blizzard released The Mists of Pandaria. And this time around, Blizzard added more daily quests than ever before. The daily quest system was because of this slightly revamped, and certain factions required reputation with other factions to unlock, and every faction required you to do a lot of daily quests in order to obtain their items and tabards and all that good stuff. Many people disliked this system due to it feeling more like a grind than ever before, and it was also seen as a big requirement for raiding because the rewards were pretty good. These daily quests also offered little to no story at all. In order to fix the problem with no story in daily quest factions, Blizzard decided to try something new with patch 5.1. This patch was called Landfall and added 2 new factions to the game, Operation Shieldwall and Dominance Offensive for the Alliance and Horde respectively. You would gain reputation by doing daily quests, but you would unlock story quests at certain reputation levels. This was very well received by the player base. In patch 5.4, Blizzard decided to try something new once again. This time, however, they took a step back from daily quests and instead offered a more sandboxy experience with random, rare monster encounters and chest spawns instead of many static daily quests. This new zone was named Timeless Isle, and for the most part it was very well received by the player base. In the next expansion, the Warlords of Draenor, Blizzard once again offered a lot of variety in daily quests. Every day there would be a new quest giver in your garrison that would offer different quests depending on the day. From these daily quests, you would get Apexis crystals, and you would use these Apexis crystals to purchase gear. The daily quest system would experience its first major rework in World of Warcraft's 6th expansion, Legion. This new system intended to keep the good parts of the daily quest system, such as gold and reputation, but fixing the repetitiveness problem. This new feature was named World Quests. Now, World Quests would appear all over the Broken Isles, which is the Legion expansion area, and pretty much every quest you encountered while questing through the Legion zones could appear later on as a world quest. Because of this, there was hundreds of world quests available, and this would drastically reduce the repetitiveness that had earlier been such a big problem. Now, in this world quest system, there is something called an emissary quest. And an emissary quest requires you to do 3 to 4 different quests in a specific zone where the quest for that emissary exists. So for example, if the Val'sharah quest is up, you have to go to Val'sharah, do 4 quests for the emissary, and when you turn that in, you get a lot of reputation, but you also get gold and resources, and there's a small chance of obtaining a legendary. In patch 7.2, invasions were added to the game. An invasion could spawn in any of the Legion zones, and it would be up for 6 hours. And while these invasions were active, there would be new world quests available that gave bigger rewards than regular world quests. Patch 7.2 also introduced Paragon reputation with Legion factions. This meant that you could keep doing world quests after reaching Exalted with a faction and still get a reward every now and then. You would be awarded with a Paragon cache that could contain mounts and toys, resources and gold. Legion also changed on what time of the day that daily quest would reset. They would now reset at a unified lockout on both US and EU realms, whereas they previously had been reset at 3 AM realm time regardless of region. In 2018, Blizzard released World of Warcraft: The Battle for Azeroth. Now, this expansion hasn't changed the world quest system from Legion, with the exception of contracts. Contracts allows you to earn 10 reputation with any BFA faction regardless of what quest that you're currently doing. That being said, the emissary did not feel as important as they once did due to the removal of legendaries. To many players, the world quest system was one of the best features to come out of Legion, and Blizzard did not feel like the system needed any changes for the Battle for Azeroth expansion. Today, world quest resets 4 times per day: 9 AM, 5 PM, 9 PM and 1 AM. The 2 major resets happen at 9 AM and 9 PM. I hope you enjoyed this stroll through the evolution of daily quests in the World of Warcraft. What iteration of the system was your favorite? Please leave a comment down below, and a special thanks to Wikipedia for making this video possible. And thanks to you for watching. Until next time guys,